It's the little things like closed loop attribution, tracking in-store consumer behavior, and mapping back to those creator-led campaigns that every retailer and brand want to activate. We're talking about technologies around spatial computing, AI, and so many other modern tech that we're going to hear about. Talk about cutting through the clutter today, right? Retail media is evolving in so many ways, expanding in so many areas. This is a conversation we knew had to happen sooner rather than later.
When I think of realizing the full potential of retail media, it is the ability to be full funnel in reaching consumers online, offline, across all these different touch points. It can actually convert somebody from being a non-consumer to a consumer. And if you get them purchasing that with a level of frequency, there is that value that exists over time.
You can take the people who experience, and then you can take the people that didn't, and you can measure how they interacted in the space.
The quickest way to get brands to invest more in media is to prove sales effectiveness. You will see that performance, but some of that value is going to manifest over time, over additional trips, and over trips in different stores.
All anybody was offering at the time was this blind faith that, because you put something up on a screen, all the foot traffic that came to the store was going to see it and would somehow be influenced by it.
You can do almost anything with AI, which is like the coolest thing, but also the worst thing about it. And so if you don't focus and tear down into something that you know can apply value, and you're going to end up chasing 10 rabbits catching 0.
It wasn't that long ago that I had security guards, the clicker, and counting how many people walked in every day and just click, click.
All these physical installations that are analog today still have value. So the ability to bring measurability to anything in the analog physical world is huge. Creators are kind of breaking through to audiences in ways that standard media maybe doesn't as well anymore. So my hypothesis would be that creator content is going to be threaded throughout more store experiences.
When a shopper opts into that loyalty card, they're expecting benefits back to them.
Every great retail media network has that first-party data foundation. So that loyalty card is essential.
From my world, you're lucky if your e-commerce store is doing 2.3% conversion rate online. You can dislocate your shoulder to pat yourself on the back for that.
If you're seeing 2.3 online and 35 in store, and the investment still goes online, I think that's a signal of there's no trust there.
E-commerce is so heavily optimized, right? Everything is about metrics and working the conversion funnel. That's 15% of retail today.
Right.
What about the other 85%?
Yeah.
3 of the top 10 biggest companies in the world by market cap, Facebook, Google, and Amazon, at this point are primarily digital advertising or e-commerce companies. Their value is predicated on that 15%. How much value is there out there when you have companies that can provide that sort of assurance and certainty around measurement for the other 85%? It's enormous. And if you see that consistency and reliability, that if you are advertising in store, it will drive incremental sales. The easy answer is lack of measurement, and it's all forms of measurement. And the secondary answer, I think, is organizations are siloed, and they literally don't have people at a lot of companies, brands and retailers, who are focused on in-store retail media. High quality creative experiences close to the point of purchase. Isn't that the holy grail? Isn't that what we should be trying to do?
Right. When you digitize the space, create transparency, fidelity, a lot of things can be unlocked.
This is the intersection of media and merchandising.
Right. There's so many moving pieces, and we've been able to create an olive branch between these two groups by providing the measurement that shows value of the merchandising team and the things that they do. The way we got that done is by, first of all, no biometrics inside of anything that we do. So biometrics are essentially defined by immutable parts of a body that can persist. Physical store belongs firmly at the center of many retail media strategies.
It's almost like we're revalidating and putting retail back where it was supposed to be. Like if we could just measure what's happening at 85% of the business, the whole business would probably be in a better position to know what's interesting, what's selling, what you need more of.
How much more exposure are you gonna get? Right now, it's just question mark. You put some data behind that and you say, well, how many units should we have there? I mean, this is the fidelity that we bring that I believe will create the foundation of a new intelligence layer for those physical stores that.
First up, I think the US needs to look to Europe. There's a lot more innovation in Europe. So over time, I see the potential through clean room technology to start to bring all of these pieces together. That's the big missing piece today, is what we're finally on the precipice of solving.
People are so hungry to move this forward because they see what Andrew just described.
Yeah.
They're looking to collaborate, to innovate, to share, to swap notes.
No one person will ever solve the evolution of commerce and retail. And it takes everybody to kind of come in and start plugging in new software, having these conversations to really find where we can make those changes that make the biggest impact.
We find that and so many of the topics that we bring in on the show that it really does come down to that human engagement and the impact it has on across all of the different things that are just supported by the technology, because ultimately it's not about the tech itself, it's about how we use it and those things.